Welcome to Sign Meaning. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Has your subconscious mind ever encountered the image of worms? What's the first thing that comes up in our mind after seeing a worm? The answer is it is a small insect, moving slowly or crawling through walls or floor. Most of us feel an unpleasant sensation from the sight of a worm or worms. This fact is also applicable for a dream about worms. This dream may represent various symbolic interpretations and give valuable predictions on the future. Let us now find out the worm dream meaning that is highly relevant to your life and your situation. Worm dream interpretation in various ways. Various religions and cultures have interpreted worms in a variety of ways. However, we think that it is important to know the biblical meaning of worms in dreams. Bible has mentioned worms of different types, including Tolia, SAS and Rima. Interestingly, the term worm reminds us of earthworm. We also call the larvae in various names, and they have diverse characteristics. Metaphorically, worms denote guilt, felt by the departed souls after leaving the world. They also indicate the pain that we suffer after our death. We have also presented you with the spiritual meaning of worms in dreams. However, from the spiritual viewpoint, the dream indicates different human qualities: annoyance, dishonesty, spoiler, negativity, and suffering. Worms are highly useful in the process of fertilizing the soil in a natural way. For this reason, worm can be the symbolic representation of some transformations in your personal or business life. However, some dream analysts have indicated illness and quarrels. They think that the dream of worms signifies the enemies and dishonest persons surrounding you. The dream also indicates the potential troubles in the coming days. You need to retain your perseverance and patience for solving the problem. While the worm in the dream is on your body, it depicts your distressing feelings. Another interpretation of the dream is your problem with self-confidence. Dream of worms crawling over the skin. What does it mean when I dream of worms in my skin? This is a very common question of several dreams. While the worms in your dream are inside the skin, it indicates the active negative and bad thing. When you have hidden the ugly thoughts, you could find its reflection in your dream. In some cases, your dream also denotes the act of betraying others. The dream may signify your desire for releasing your negative spirit and energies. Dream of worms in your eyes. When the worm in your dream is coming out of the eyes, it reveals your recent stresses in life. The dream is indicating that you must do something for releasing repressed emotions and tensions. You may also start finding a way of avoiding your negative thoughts. You can look for someone who will motivate and inspire you to keep away from annoying feelings. Interpretation of dreaming worms at different places. When you dream of seeing worms in soil, it is a positive symbol. However, the dream of worms on the grass may be a negative sign. It indicates your chance of encountering conflicts with your relatives, friends, or colleagues. You may take time to find out the reason behind the conflicts. This will help you in solving the problems in a fair way. Some of us also dream of worms crawling on floor. It is another dream of negative interpretations. The floors that turn up in your dream represent stability. However, as the worms are crawling over it, you may find it as an indication of disputes in your life. Dream of worms moving over your body. This worm dream has a positive interpretation. While the worms are crawling on the body, the dream reveals your own desire for gaining money. However, there is an opposition interpretation of this dream. It represents your inclination towards spiritual wealth and non-material items. However, some dream psychologists have interpreted it in other ways. They believe that someone could take advantage of your kindness. Dream interpretation of one and multiple worms. When your dream has presented you with one worm, it indicates your opportunity to get help from one of your friends. To dream of several worms means to have a chance of encountering arrogant people. Thus, you have to be much careful on the coming days. Your rivals may snatch away your property and assets. Dream of worms in food. While you dream of seeing worms in food, it denotes others jealously of you and your property. For instance, colleagues may feel jealous of your success in the professional field. These jealous persons also have an intention of harming you. Thus, you have to stay away from them, and you must not make any deal with these persons. Find out the false friends in your life. Dream of silkworms. You could be one of the lucky persons to dream of silkworms. Dream of watching a worm. In some dreams, we simply visualize the worms. This type of dream has a negative interpretation, since it indicates weakness and degradation. It denotes that you have a negative opinion of yourself or other persons. This dream also indicates your problem with self-esteem. Some dream interpreters have found this dream to be a symbolic representation of cunning persons who could deceive you. You have to take step rightly while acquainting yourself with any person in your life. Thus, we have talked about the dream of worms and its various interpretations. However, worms are of various types, and the species appearing in the dream are different for every person. When you are interpreting your dream, you may focus on the look of the worms. The color of the worms, their length, their thickness, and the overall appearance, calm or scary, all these things are relevant factors to your worm dream symbolic meaning. However, most of the worm dreams have a negative interpretation. Still, there are a few dreams having positive signs to the dreamers. Now, you may judge your dreams based on our above information.